Hey, what's happening, nation? It's SJ. We're talking playoffs tonight because we actually can, and I am super excited about that. We are currently ranked as the number 2 seed in the AFC, and I'm telling you right now, we have a legitimate shot at being that number 1 seed after Sunday's game. I want to break it all down tonight and jump into it and kind of get your guys' thoughts on it. I know it's too early to be talking about playoffs, but there's no chance in hell that I'm missing out on this opportunity. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into this. If you are new to the channel, if you think about subscribing, I really do appreciate that. It really does help me out and keep me growing. But we're going to start with the Tennessee Titans tonight. They lost Derrick Henry, which completely sucks for them. He is the heart and soul of that entire team. According to Adam Scheffler, they went out and signed Adrian Peterson today. That's not the same thing. And I will tell you right now, they play the Rams next, who just picked up Von Miller from Denver, which I was completely shocked by. But to be completely honest with you guys, I'm happy that Von Miller is going to get a shot to play for a legitimate team one more time before his days are done. But I will be completely shocked if the Titans are able to beat the Rams come Sunday. But that's going to end up knocking them out of that number 1 spot. Then we move on to us, the best team in the NFL. We are coming off our bye week, and we kind of historically suck coming off of our byes, but we're playing the Giants team, who's honestly playing the Chiefs pretty damn well. Depending on who's hurt on that Giants team on a week-to-week basis really depicts how they play and how they game plan for whoever they are playing. But with the way DC is playing and the way that our defense is playing, I think there is a 100% chance that we end up knocking off this Giants squad. There is absolutely no reason that we should lose this game. And I'm telling you, man, our team is different this year. This is the year where we win the games that we're supposed to just go out and win. We've seen it happen time and time again throughout the season so far. When you have an elite quarterback running your squad who has already done something twice that every NFL quarterback in the league has never done except for one in the history of the NFL, dropping that 90% completion mark twice now, y'all better start putting some respect on that man's name because he has earned every damn inch of it. Moving on to the Ravens, this team is damn good. I'm not taking anything away from the Baltimore Ravens, except for the fact we already went toe-to-toe and beat them. They're coming off their bye week. They are playing Minnesota this weekend. They're probably going to end up wiping the floor with them. They will also be 6-2 moving forward because you know that entire team is completely pissed that the Bengals beat the brakes off of them last week. So the Raiders and the Ravens will both be sitting at 6-2, but since we beat them, we have that advantage, which will put us in that number 1 spot. Pushing on to this Bills team, they are arguably the best team in the AFC. This is the team that I see us having to face in the AFC Championship game in order to make it to the big show. Josh Allen has proved himself. He is officially one of the better QBs in this league. And the fact that he has the receiving core that he does have right now and the defense that team has, they are legitimately number 1 contenders. They have to go play the Jags this weekend. Something in my gut tells me that they're going to lose this game. But in all actuality, they are probably going to go in and kick these shit out of the Jaguars. And they will also be sitting at 6-2, but we will still have that nod and be the number 1 seed in the AFC. And I'm telling y'all right now, it's going to come down to us versus the Bills at some point throughout the playoffs. And that game will depend on which AFC team goes to the Super Bowl. And now this Bengals team, nobody saw this team coming out and being one of the better teams in the AFC. Their defense has been playing amazingly. Joe Burrow is proving that he might be up and coming. And when Mixon is on his game, they have one of the better rushing attacks in football. But they're coming off a hard loss to the Jets, which totally sucks for them. And now they have to play a divisional game going up against the Browns. But at least they're at home for it. I don't know if Baker's going to end up playing in that game. Everything that I've read said that he's going to try to work his way back in. His shoulder's still completely jacked up. And I actually heard a rumor that they were targeting Marcus Mariota pretty damn hard, so I'm really curious to see if something happens with that before the trade deadline. I do not want to see Mariota leave this team, but the Browns are desperate right now, so if they're willing to cough up something big, I will take that all damn day. But I see the Bengals actually beating the Browns, and they definitely have an advantage because of Baker and the fact that they're at home going into this, so I really see them pulling it out. They're going to end up being 6-3, which should, correct me if I'm wrong, push them above the Titans when the Titans drop to that 6th spot. There are 7 playoff teams this season, so we are going to take a look at the next 2 and just take a quick look at them because these bottom 2 spots, I guarantee you, are going to shuffle around like crazy. Currently holding that 6th spot right now is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was actually shocked to see this. I did not think that team was playing at a decent level at all, but there they are, like they always are, sitting in that playoff picture. The Steelers just squeaked past the Browns last week. They're playing the Bears next week. They got the Monday night game. This should actually be a really good game. I'm honestly thinking that Chicago comes out and knocks Pittsburgh off, even though Pittsburgh is at home. The Bears have been struggling lately, but I really think they right the ship as far as this next game. But the Steelers have to win if they want to stay in this spot, because if they drop this game, there's going to be a team that leapfrogs them, and they honestly might get bumped out of the actual playoff picture and just one of those teams that's in the hunt right now, but most likely not going to make the playoffs. That's the spot where we're always sitting. But the Steelers have an incredibly tough schedule coming up. They got to play the Bears and then they play Detroit. They'll probably win both those games, but I'm thinking Chicago beats them. But the next 3 weeks after that, they're playing 3 playoff teams, and they're not going to make their way out of that without 2 losses at least. Rounding out that number 7 spot is the Los Angeles Chargers. They're currently on a 2-game losing streak, and they are going to Philly, who has been playing incredibly well since we beat that ass. The Eagles need a big win in this game to stay in the running. I really think they have a legitimate shot at being able to knock this Chargers team off. It seems like over the past 2 weeks, people have kind of figured out Herbert, and if Philly goes out there and does the exact same thing, and they have their front 4 pass rush that is honestly really damn good, and you need to give some credit to our offensive line because of that game, Eagles should win this, and that'll put the Chargers back at 4-4, which means they're going to be even with a team like the Patriots and the Browns, and those guys are going to leapfrog them immediately. Their schedule honestly looks pretty much like a cakewalk for the remainder of the season, with the exception of having to play us and then having to play the Bengals. And they still have to play the Chiefs one more time, but the Chiefs pretty much suck right now. But that rounds out the top 7, and I'm telling you guys right now, if we can get a win over this Giants team, we will be the number 1 ranked team in the AFC moving in this kind of shitty 3-game stretch that we have coming up. But that is all the more reason we have to beat this Giants squad. And then just real quick, I want to run through these on the bubble teams. I'm not going to spend too much time on them. The Patriots are sitting at number 8. Keep an eye on them. I will not give up on a Bill Belichick team. They've had some serious struggles this season, but their quarterback seems like he's finally putting it all together, so they might become a legitimate contender. The Browns at number 9, as long as Baker's all jacked up and their running back room stays depleted, this team is not the same. You can see this Browns team losing a couple quick games and then kind of getting lost in the shuffle and not being able to catch back up. And number 10 is the Broncos, sitting at 4-4. They just got rid of Von, like I was talking about earlier. I have no idea what the hell this team is trying to do unless they're just throwing in the towel, even though they're sitting at 4-4. But I don't see them making any kind of noise at all moving forward. Number 11 is the Chiefs, and they start the teams with the losing records. They're going to end up being 4-4 after tonight, but their defense sucks. And you're seeing exactly what happens when you overpay your quarterback because you think he can do everything and then take his offensive line away. They look terrible, like honestly terrible. And the fact that ESPN and all these guys are still kissing their ass so much, instead of finally just admitting like, all right, they blew it, they screwed up, this offense has gone to shit, their defense has always sucked, and they're back to being a subpar team once again, even though they have the golden child Patrick Mahomes on their team. But with the way that they've been playing this season, they are not a playoff contender at all. They do not even seem like they want to make it to the playoffs. That team has taken a steady nosedive straight down, and watching the media backpedal and keep this team in everybody's good graces is just failing, and I am loving every damn second of it. That's pretty much what I have for you guys tonight, man. We'll be back in the next day or two to start breaking down that Giants game. I want to get an injury report before I really hit it, and I also want to see if we do anything before this trade deadline. So until next time, I'm SJ. If you can click that like button on your way out, it really does help the video out. We will catch you guys on the next one.